NASA, the world's leading tech and science agency known for its cutting-edge innovations and best security system, was unexpectedly breached. This 15-year-old boy hacked into NASA's highly secured systems from his home computer. The hacking was so dangerous that NASA had to shut down its entire agency for 21 days. When the FBI started investigation to find the hacker, he hacked into their systems to avoid being caught. After hacking into the systems of big companies and banks for many years, suddenly he disappeared from the internet, and sadly on May 18, 2008, he was found dead in his room. Now the question arises, who was that boy challenging the world's biggest powers, and why is his story still hidden from the world to this day? The boy's name was Jonathan James, who was born on December 12, 1983 in the United States. Since childhood, he had a passion for computers and would spend his days and nights in his room operating the computer. His interest in computers began at the age of 6, when he would regularly use his father's computer to play video games. He didn't go out to play like other kids, nor did he pay much attention to his studies. His interest gradually changed with age, from playing games to learning the C language. James's parents quickly realized that their son was spending too much time in front of the computer screen and tried to impose restrictions, but eventually James bypassed the password using his hacking charisma. His curiosity about computers surprised his father when he came home one day to find that his personal computer had been converted from Windows OS to Linux OS. James installed Linux on his father's computer out of curiosity to test the unfamiliar operating system and understand how it works. At the age of 13, this led his parents to take stronger measures and took away his computer. He ran away from home, refusing to come back until his parents returned his computer, insisting that programming and video games weren't affecting his grades. Later, it was found that he hacked into the network of educational institutions in Miami-Dade County and corrected his scores in the reports. Around that time, James came up with his own hacking alias, Comrade, as he spent most of his time communicating with other hackers online and learning more about hacking day by day. At the age of 15, James had had enough of hacking small systems, and then he set his goal to do something bigger. Between June 23 and October 27, 1999, he committed a series of intrusions into various systems. His first target was AT&T Bell South, one of the largest telecommunications companies at the time in the US. His main goal was not to profit or steal information, but more about testing his hacking abilities on a bigger target like this company. In June 1999, Jonathan James hacked into a server in Huntsville, Alabama, which turned out to be part of NASA's Marshall Space Flight Center. He gained access to critical source code for the International Space Station Life Support System. After NASA security experts discovered that their network was compromised, they disconnected the server for a period of 3 weeks to analyze the intrusion, which led to $40,000 in direct damages for NASA. FBI was working with NASA as they informed them as soon as they detected the intrusion and began tracking down the dangerous hacker. James was still a schoolboy, as he would attend classes in the morning and hacking for fun at night. In January 2000, Defense Department agents, along with Pinecrest Police, proceeded to order an arrest for James. On January 26th, agents with bulletproof vests and guns raided his home and arrested him. They seized 4 PCs, a laptop, and 1 pocket computer from the house. That made James the first juvenile to be sentenced federally to a term of confinement for computer hacking. After the news of his arrest, he became famous at his school and also made public comments to the media. During the investigation, it was cleared out that James didn't run viruses, didn't delete files, or change passwords. He did not cause any damage in any of the compromised systems. He voluntarily pleaded guilty to 2 incriminated accusations for hacking NASA and then the U.S. Department of Defense. James received 6 months of house arrest and a ban on the use of a computer machine for entertainment purposes, but only for studies. If he were an adult, he could face at least 10 years in prison and a hefty fine. The court also made him issue a written apology to NASA and the U.S. Department of Defense for his actions. He was soon detained by the police on the streets for violating the terms of the house arrest. It was also found later from his blood work that he used some kind of drugs. The court went on and suspended the old sentence and replaced it with jail time for 6 months in a juvenile correctional center in Alabama. He told reporters that he was determined to stop hacking after he was caught, as it wasn't worth the hassle and he was just doing it for fun, like playing video games. James served the full sentence and was released after 6 months from the juvenile correctional center, avoiding the media in order to lead an ordinary life in his parents' house in Pinecrest. Sadly, Sadly, the ordinary life that James wanted to live did not last long. In January 2007, the Secret Service was tracking a cyber theft gang led by Albert Gonzalez. They were responsible for major credit card breaches at companies like TJX, Boston Market, and more. Millions of users' credit card information was stolen. Some of James's friends were allegedly part of the gang. Agents investigated connections between James and Gonzalez's associates as an unknown hacker known as JJ collaborated with Gonzalez. James' initials letters matched, and that was enough for the Secret Service to issue a warrant to search his house. In January 2007, Secret Service agents raided James' house but found no evidence connecting him to the crimes. They found only a gun and a suicide note from a previous suicide attempt. It was found later that the unknown JJ was Stephen Watts, who often signed on the network with the pseudonym Jim Jones. Even though he didn't do anything wrong, these events worsened James' depression. On May 18, 2008, James was found dead in the bathroom of his home with a self-inflicted gunshot wound to the head from the same rifle that the agents found during the raid. A suicide note was found near him along with his passwords to PayPal and several other accounts, but it is said in the reports. During the following years, many unverified rumors circulate about the circumstances of his death. Claims like it was staged and the real cause of his death was allegedly top-secret information that he managed to get when he hacked NASA and the Pentagon. The official investigation ruled out any of those claims as pure speculations and ruled that James' death was a suicide. A short obituary was published by the Miami Herald after James passed away, describing him as an exceptionally intelligent young man, a computer genius who will be missed by his family and friends. Do you think the actual news about his death is a secret? What are your thoughts? Thanks for watching. See you in the next video. Goodbye.